and welcome back, guys and girls, to another edition of Double Jump Gaming News. I am your host, Will, and today we are not so much news, more opinions, things I've been reading, my views, my thoughts on things. But yeah, I kind of just wanted to go over a few kind of bits of what I'm thinking at the moment. So I mean, it's all based around Nintendo. Now, obviously, the rumor mill at the moment, you know, with the Switch and the mini Switch and the Pro Switch and all of this that's going on. And I obviously went over it in another video last week, the end of last week, about sort of the news that we had about the mini. Now, all very exciting. And it just, I read a tweet, and I want to say it was from Obi-Wan Plays. And it is true. A lot of people basically saying and speculating of, well, this upgrade that Nintendo are thinking of. We're talking about the Pro now. I do apologise. I digress. The Pro, surely it's just going to be an upgrade. It's just going to be an upgrade. They'll just tweak a few bits. They'll make it nice and shiny, and people will pay more money for it, and that would be great. Why? Why couldn't Nintendo? Why potentially could they not have a huge jump forward? Why could it not be their next gen? Why could it not be a supercharged, superpowered console? I don't, why people wouldn't think that. But then that got me thinking, so I was like, that's me, I suppose. And it was interesting because I read this tweet from Obi-Wan Plays, as I say, saying basically saying, why do people think this kind of thing? But then there was a reply back from Super Metal Dave 64, another obviously big YouTuber, and these guys, by the way, I will leave in the link in the description below for all of them if you haven't checked them out. But he did put a really good comment, and he was kind of saying that you've got to think, a lot of these people who were playing Nintendo consoles probably started playing like the DS or the Wii when they were, let's say, 5 years old, something like that. Now, in their kind of their 20s or so, all they've seen, all they've had from Nintendo, apart from, I suppose you could probably say, the 3DS, which is obviously the powerhouse, of the handhelds. But then Nintendo has pretty much always been, in my opinion. But once again, I digress. All they've ever had is Nintendo being at the lower end, power-wise, for a console. So that's all they've ever seen. That's all they've ever known. So quite rightly, why wouldn't they think that? I'm the one who's in the wrong, thinking, the reverse of that. But yeah, they've had the Wii. Okay. It sold like hotcakes. Everybody had a Wii. Everyone. My mum had a Wii. She didn't know anything about video games, but she had one. And then you've had obviously the Wii U. I love my Wii U. You all know I love my Wii U. But yeah, and then moving on to that, we've got the Switch, which is fantastic. Don't get me wrong, an incredible little bit of hardware, which I love personally, but not the most powerful thing on the market at the moment. So yeah, I can understand where people are coming from. I mean, Nintendo has always been, probably more recently, I expect, because of tech and that kind of things, but they've always been that company of ingenuity. For me, that's what they've always been. Whether it's been their hardware, their software, controllers, things to me, even things like when I go back, things like a Rumble Pack, a transfer pack, for me, that's just clever little things back in the day that other people just hadn't thought of, and then slowly but surely jumped on the bandwagon. Wii Motion, and then you had Sony, had their little sticks. Then, of course, you had the Kinect. Enough said. So, they're very clever. They've always been very clever with little things like that. Maybe that's sort of the problem that we've been having recently. Maybe not so much a problem. I might be saying that wrong. But maybe they've been focusing too much on that recently. And don't get me wrong, I love ingenuity. I love the Switch. Absolutely, don't get me wrong with that at all. I really, really do. But are we focusing too much on that and not enough? Now, I don't see that as a problem. If they did that for the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years, I wouldn't bat an eyelid. I would still buy and own whatever I could that Nintendo made and developed. Absolutely, I would do. But in a competitive way and in that sort of frame of mind, I'm not even that really. When I think about it, it's not even that. It's not competing with Sony. It's not competing with Microsoft. I couldn't give two hoots about those two. And I hear it all the time. I hear it with friends. I hear it with YouTubers, when they talk about the great console war, and you've got Microsoft and, oh my God, I need to kill my 3DS. And you've got Microsoft and Sony fighting it out. There's never a mention half the time of Nintendo, and it's like, So for me, it's not even about that. That is not actually the point. What I'm trying to get at, very badly, is just the fact that obviously they've struggled recently with third parties. First parties, for me, they're the greatest for first parties. They really are. Closely followed by Sony, but yeah, absolutely they are. But yeah, I'm thinking that's where they've struggled with third parties, because it is, notoriously, they have said that it's difficult to work, with sort of Nintendo and sort of what they do. And a lot of the times it is, they are kind of downgrading, as it were. You're taking Assassin's Creed or something, and you're squashing it down and you're sticking it in a Wii U and shoving it in, which is great. And, I've then got an Assassin's Creed. It may not be the smoothest little Assassin's Creed that's ever been created, but I've got one. So bringing myself and my mind back to my original point, I kind of think, is that something that they need to now work with? Because they were, if you guys don't remember, it may be too young to remember, but Nintendo was the powerhouse for years and years. Not only were they lose my words. Not only did they they create lots of incredible things with hardware, software, the type of games they were developing. They were the powerhouse. Absolutely, they were for years and years and years. Even when Sega came along, it was still, they were level pegging all the way. They've always been N64. Power-wise, it was more powerful than a PlayStation. It was, Yes, we had a disc and we had a cartridge. They're two very different things, but it was, on paper, it was. So that absolutely they can do. People saying, oh, Nintendo, they can't do that. They're not that. They've always been for children. No, they haven't. No, they haven't. No. Ask somebody of my age, somebody who, I don't know, somebody between the age of, let's say, 30 and 40 or 30 and 45 even, no, they haven't. Nintendo have been there at the forefront for gaming, for power, for story, beautiful graphics. They have been there. They really, really have. Theme tunes that you'll never get out of your head, So yeah, that's really all I wanted to really talk about today. But the main thing for me is I wanted to know your opinion. Do you think Nintendo can go back to where they were, still keeping that level of ingenuity, that clever skill they have with creating something that initially you think, oh, but then when you get it, you're like, oh, I wanted this forever. Can they get that balance? If they can, it's in the bag. Surely it's in the bag, isn't it? That's a winner. For me, that's my opinion. You may disagree, and that is what I want to know. I want to know your thoughts. I don't have enough people actually physically in my life to talk to about this, so I really wanted to know your thoughts. So really, I suppose what I'm asking is, can Nintendo be what they were back in the late 80s, early 90s? An incredible company, renowned around the world, not only for, their gameplay, but also the power of their device. I want them to compete. I really do. I don't want people to think that Nintendo sits on the fence. I don't think they do, but I know a lot of people do have that opinion, and I don't want that. They can do incredible things. So yeah, let me know. Can they? Can't they? Why can they? Why can't they? I want to know your thoughts. So yeah, let me know, guys. Let me know. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it there. There's enough rambling for one day. We will get back to news this week, I promise you. But you know, we're all at the moment. We've got our Joker. You know, we've got our Smash going on at the moment. We're building levels that look different. There are some incredible ones. There are some. Oh my god, some of them. I was like, you can't put stuff like that out there. There's some horrendous ones, but. Yeah, we're all doing that. We're all building things with Labo, you know. We're all knee deep in cardboard and up to our eyes in crafting Yoshis, and so we got a lot going on at the moment, you know. But there will be news. I can promise you that. So yeah, stay tuned. Obviously, if you guys have liked this video, then please do click that like button. It really does help. If you haven't already, obviously click subscribe as well. It would mean the absolute world to me if you would. And do ding that notification bell on the way down as well, so you're notified every time my videos go live on YouTube. So I will leave it there. Thank you so much for watching once again, guys and girls. All the best to you. Take care. Bye.